Success? Great success. Oh, hi. Glad you're here. I'm glad to be with you. Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. So, it is very rare, extremely rare, for me to not know of a Lego set long before its release. And definitely even before its official Lego announcement. But this is a rare case where I believe when a couple of the newer Harry Potter sets came out, and I went to get them right away. I think it was also the same time the Indiana Jones sets came out. Those went by so fast I wasn't really expecting it. Anyway, whatever it was, a few months ago, I went on Lego.com to get the Harry Potter sets, and then I went to check the Star Wars sets just to double check when some of them were coming out. And then there was this. Just to my surprise, this brand new set that I didn't know existed or was going to exist, and it was just like, coming soon. And I was like, what? That looks amazing, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. I mean, I already knew about, of course, the speeder bike chase diorama and the Emperor's Throne Room diorama, but this was a total surprise to me when I went on Lego.com that night. And I was like, oh, sweet. And it said available for pre-order. And I'm not one who ever really pre-orders. I just wait until it's officially out and then go from there. And I was like, maybe later in a couple of weeks I'll pre-order it on my next payday so that I at least know that I'll, won't have to worry about it later. I believe it was within days, if not, a week at the most, the pre-orders were closed. And I was like, oh, well, there goes that. I'll just wait for its official release. So I was working at the time when they dropped the brand new Star Wars sets, 40th anniversary, Return of the Jedi. And like many, I experienced 2 hours of just trying to get to my cart while the website kept crashing and kicking me out. I immediately put when I could. It took me 2 hours. Well, the first hour, I was finally able to get, the speeder bike chase and the throne room and this executor into my cart. And I was like, sweet. But I couldn't get to the checkout part. It kept crashing and kicking me out. And an hour later, well, I think it was about 30 minutes later, I finally got to my cart. And this was only available for back order. It was already sold out and it was back order only. And I was like, oh, great. Well, I guess I'll take what I can get. Still couldn't get to my cart. Another 30 minutes after 2 hours of struggling with Lego.com. You'd think they would be prepared for their releases. I finally got to my cart and it was sold out. Not even available for back order. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I was pretty upset about that. And I just kept checking back every single day. And one day, out of the blue, I don't know how I got this lucky, I check. This was what, maybe a week or so ago? 2 weeks ago? Something like that. I checked first thing in the morning, and it was available. It was available. So I immediately bought it. And then I checked back the website 2 hours later. So I don't know exactly how long it took, but it was at least no more than 2 hours. And it was sold out again. And I believe it is still currently sold out. So I consider myself very, very fortunate to have gotten my hands on this. And this set is one of the best sets I have gotten in a long time. It was one of the most entertaining builds I have done in a long time. And like the first half of it, it's got 6 bags, and like the first 3 bags flew by because it's mostly, all these big pieces in the interior, just a bunch of triangle pieces. And that's my kind of build. Just give me a bunch of big pieces, slap them together. Greebling, sure, but the greebling is a lot less than you might expect. It's really just this, and the next thing you know, you're slapping on the sides and you're done. So it didn't take me that long. The latter 3 bags took a little bit longer than the first 3, but overall, it didn't take me very long at all. I built it on the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which was 2 days ago, May 25th, which is very special for me because as a child, Return of the Jedi was my favorite Star Wars movie. It's turning 40 this year, and so am I. I was born 21 days after the release of Return of the Jedi. So I really wanted these Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary sets to commemorate. So I got that little exclusive free bonus Death Star, the 2 dioramas, and now this gorgeous, immaculate Executor Star Destroyer that is just absolutely phenomenal. It is such an amazing display piece. And I absolutely love it. I enjoyed building it. It's interesting though. I was aware of the Easter egg beforehand, but if I hadn't have known what it was, I probably wouldn't have figured it out while building it. If you aren't aware of the Easter egg and you don't want to know, I'm about to tell you the Easter egg. I can't show you unless I literally take it apart, which wouldn't be too hard. We just have to pop these off, but I don't want to. But yes, there is an Easter egg inside, and it is much like the one in the little mini Death Star 2. Little tiny 1x1 round studs, 2 of each to represent each character, and there's Darth Vader talking to all 6 bounty hunters, which I think is a very nice touch. But then I was like, well, wait a minute, wouldn't that make this technically an Empire Strikes Back set? And they even mention in the instructions how this ship was introduced in Empire Strikes Back, but then, spoiler alert, met its demise in Return of the Jedi. So they were kind of acknowledging that it's technically both Empire and Jedi. But your Easter egg is from Empire. And there's no Return of the Jedi Easter egg, to my knowledge, even though the instructions referenced Easter eggs. They said you're going to enjoy building this, and there's a couple of Easter eggs along the way, like 2 of them at least. I only know of the 1. However, I will mention something really, really cool that I've been loving that LEGO's been doing more and more with all kinds of sets. If you're familiar with brickheads, then you know I'm pretty sure that's where it started. How the brickheads, I think Homer might have been the first one actually, but the brickheads started using pink bricks in the center to represent their brain. And now LEGO has been using, whether it's one teeny tiny one or a couple of bigger ones, they've been using pink bricks inside their set. I think there might actually be one in the Death Star Trench Run diorama in one of the guns. There might, if I'm remembering correctly, there might be one in the Dagobah set in one of the, in like the tree or something. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure there's one on the Trench Run. And then they used one of the brain bricks in one of the 2 trees on the speeder bike chase diorama. And this ship, inside here somewhere, has a pink brain brick. I love that. That's just very nice. They're little... Maybe that's one of the Easter eggs it was referring to. Sure, let's go with that. And it's funny, in the instructions, you get this guy with this set, right? My current favorite LEGO piece that I'll be sporting on my uniform on my birthday. Well, I'm not working on my birthday, but I'm going to sport this thing on my uniform all month, next month. But yeah, because I'm about to be 40. And Return of the Jedi just turned 40 2 days ago. Can you guess what I was doing? I was watching Return of the Jedi and building this. Anyway, but in the instructions, they give you this, and the last step, they say, you know, just put it aside. They just show this to the side. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go then. But then when you see on the picture, on the front of the box and the booklet, they actually have it like this. But they don't actually tell you to do that in the instructions. So that's kind of like, it's up to you, I guess. But I love the displayability of this set. And it was, like I said, so much fun of a build. And it's worth every penny if you're paying retail price. I believe it's $70. Yeah. And I would say it's well worth it, especially considering at this point it is very hard to get your hands on. So if you can come across one at a reasonable price, especially if it's retail price or less, I would highly recommend grabbing it immediately. If you come across it on Lego.com and it's actually available, even if it's just back order, I would highly recommend snagging it. This has been a very, very popular set. My only gripe is that these parts just kind of lay there, so they're not, perfectly, it's just kind of a little loose. And then same with the other end. They're just kind of chilling there. But aside from that, they even say, oh, and then you can fly it around your house too. It's a perfect size to display on your shelf or fly around your house if you'd like. Yeah, this thing is a little fragile in certain parts. I wouldn't recommend playing with this, but it's absolutely amazing, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. This is a must buy for any Star Wars fan, must buy for any avid Lego collector, and definitely a must have for anyone like me who is an avid Star Wars and Lego fan who also happened to be born the same year as one of their favorite Star Wars films, Return of the Jedi. So, yeah, the Executor, nice printed tile here as well. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, look, you can even see how the light's coming through all those clear blue bricks. Yeah, I absolutely love this set, and I understand how lucky I am to have gotten it without paying extra on eBay. And I will not take that for granted. So, yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but I'm not going to sit here and think of what it was. So, happy 40th Return of the Jedi. And in 19 days, happy 40th to me. Okie dokie.